Today, I am finally, after several years, I believe, going to cover one of the coolest things that is available to the Guild Wars community in terms of third-party apps. As you guys know, I sometimes cover this stuff. Today, I'm going to be looking at Guild Wars 2 TaCo, which is something that's been on the fringe of my interest for a long while, but not until today did I finally sit down and have a proper good look at it. And my god, is it awesome. If you guys are fairly new to the game, if you're just catching up, if there's lots of jumping puzzles you haven't done, if you're still doing a lot of world boss stuff, if you're still not too familiar with meta events, if you just generally want extra help while playing the game without having to constantly alt tab out and go to different websites, go to the wiki, whatever, TaCo is amazing for you, and it works in so many different areas of the game, from raiding through to some of the most basic open world stuff, and even festival based things like Super Adventure Box, where it can really shine. So that's what I want to show you guys today. It's an overlay. So as an overlay, it's essentially a little thing you're going to download. You'll run it. It doesn't actually interface necessarily with the client at all, but it reads what's going on your screen and simply pastes some stuff over the top for your information. It doesn't actually modify the Guild Wars client in any way at all. And so really, unlike some of the other third-party things, there is no muddiness or weirdness as to whether this thing is okay. It is absolutely categorically fine. It is no different to running something like, say, Sweet Effects. And here's a little quote from Chris Cleary, who's in charge of a lot of the security stuff over ArenaNet, very recently, saying, hey, yeah, nothing in TaCo necessarily breaks any rules, so you guys don't have to be scared about running this. So right now you can see my desktop. What I'll do here is just show you how to install it. It's probably one of the most simple things to get out there. What you're going to do is go to the website. There's a link in the description. Just click that. On the right-hand side of all the information that they've got there about TaCo, at the top is the latest build. There was a big update early on in June, by the way, which sped this thing up and added a bunch of new stuff, which is very cool. It now interfaces with APIs and whatever. So you're just going to download that and drag it into a folder of your choice. So here is my folder. I just called it TaCo. It's here on my desktop, and I just extracted what I got out of the archive in here. It's as simple as that. I haven't touched anything else, and to run TaCo, all you have to do is type, double-click Gw2 taco.exe, and you're going to run it. And that's it. It's now running in the background, and when you turn Guild Wars 2 on, that's when the magic will happen. And it truly is magic, so I want to show you guys. Let's get in. So here we've just loaded into Sparkfly Fen. What you'll notice is I'm on this hideous looking thief character here. Those who are unfamiliar with the streams I do specifically, this is my alternate account. Now the reason I've come onto my alt account is my alt account has a lot of achievements like jumping puzzles and things that it hasn't accomplished just yet. Think about collectibles like the carcass that you can grab from Lion's Arch, or the Firestone shards in the latest map, Draconis Mons, or any number of things like that that are now in the game. These are the things that TaCo really helps out with, and so I thought it would be best to show it off on my alt account here. So what you'll notice about my client right now is nothing really is different except for some red boxes which are up on the top right now. That's totally optional, can be turned on and off. I'll explain it in a second. The main thing you should see when you first turn TaCo on, though, is up here on the top left we have the game menu, we've got our contacts, we've got our hero panel, and so on and so on and so on. You'll actually notice there is a new icon here now. I really like the art they've got on this. I mean, it fits in perfectly with the rest of the UI. They've done very well. This is the TaCo menu. So just as if I wanted to play PvP, I could click PvP and go for that. If I click the TaCo menu, it gives me a bunch of options here for TaCo stuff. So this is where you can define what you actually want TaCo to help you with. So these red boxes I mentioned a second ago, maybe I don't actually care about them. They're a part of the new update that came out in early June. So if I don't care about that, this is actually to do with dungeons. So I can click this little option here, close dungeon progress window, and boop, it will go away. And so for all intents and purposes, TaCo doesn't have to clutter your screen. It doesn't have to show you anything you don't want it to. Right now, you're basically just looking at regular Guild Wars 2, except a slight little icon here. On the other hand, maybe you can turn a ton of stuff on. Maybe I want this dungeon progress on. Maybe then I also want to see, say, and this is one of the first things that TaCo did, maybe I want to see when all of the different world bosses spawn. What big meta events are currently going on? Is an Octavine going on at the moment? Is VB up? How far into the nighttime cycle is that? As you can see, it's nighttime in game right now, but how late into nighttime is it? Well, if I care about any of that information, then there's another big panel I can turn on here, the map timer window, and I think by default this is on. So as you can see right now, we are at the green line in the middle. And right now it's about halfway through nighttime. It means that the night bosses are up in VB. It means that we're on Help the Outposts in, where is that, TD perhaps? Dragon Stand is about halfway through. The Chuck Gerrant is spawning in, X amount of time as we roll closer to this. So this is really handy, and we can use it if we care a lot about world boss things. I always find it really irritating going to the wiki or to some other websites to see exactly what boss is up and when on the odd occasion that I do care about these metas, because of course Heart of Thorns did add a lot of incentive to play that stuff, and actually having TaCo here like this, just that I can quickly toggle on or off whenever I like, is really, really, really handy, especially if you're still in that phase on your account where you're playing a lot of that stuff, because you can get a lot of money, or I don't know, maybe you are running the lottery and you think you might get a Chuck egg sack at some point. But beyond that, TaCo does a lot of other really, really cool stuff that I want to show you guys, and this is really what started getting me interested in this. So let's turn off the map timer window there again. Here's some other examples of things that it can do. Let's say you want to do a jumping puzzle. Now, you'll notice already there's a bunch of markers way out in the distance over there. They're showing me specific things related to achievements and exploration of Guild Wars 2. But let's say, for example, I don't know, Caledon Forest, and the daily is to complete the JP, where is it? It's the end of like this over here at the top of this river. So let's go to a waypoint in Caledon Forest, and let's say we want to do the nearby jumping puzzle. You notice off in the distance there, you can actually see very faintly all the way over there a very small icon suggesting that there might be something going on. And what that's doing is that's telling you where the JP is. These are markers. It's a big part of what TaCo does. Players can actually make their own markers and place them around the world, and then host packs online, which then you can link to and download and get from. So like this is the jumping puzzle pack, which comes by default. You can toggle this on or off if you like. But so here now the icon's really big, and as we walk in, really awesomely, you get these extra icons, right? These symbols of this man running. And what they're doing is showing you exactly where to go in the JP. So this is taking us into the room. Now, this jumping puzzle, as hopefully a lot of you guys know, is a very linear one. And these little markers won't necessarily help so much. But when you think about stuff like Super Adventure Box, right, and Tribulation mode in Super Adventure Box, where you don't quite know where the safe grounds are, TaCo helps you with stuff like that. And it's really, really smart about the way that it goes. Think about maybe if Super Adventure Box doesn't inspire you. Oh, and we fell. Damn, that's really lame. I thought I got that right. If we die, we should respawn. Ah. Failing at a 2012 jumping puzzle, guys. That's what we get at Wooden Potatoes. But think about something like, say, the Silver Waste jumping puzzle, where there's loads of different directions to go in. Think about, for example, in the Silver Waste, not only do you have the big jumping puzzle, but new players on new accounts also have the lost golden badges to grab as well while they're at it. And look at this huge number of icons that are available on the Silver Wastes right here. So I know exactly where to walk to get all of the different things for the achievement. It will guide me through this entire JP, which is huge, and it will do that for all of them across the whole game. If you don't like all of those markers that are floating, what you can do is you can come to this little menu here. You can go to jumping puzzles, for example, and you can turn them off, right? So the Maguma Waste, I can choose to turn off, and it will turn off a bunch of icons. Or conversely, what you can do is turn more icons on. So chests, right? If we go map specific chests, maybe I want to look at all of the Silver Waste chests where they can spawn. And now look at all of these icons that have just appeared. And there is no chest here right now, obviously, because we haven't dug anything up. But this is showing me that a chest can spawn exactly here. There's a chance for a chest to spawn here as well. And there's a chance for one to spawn here. It's crazy. Super useful. Again, if you think about back during the Season 2 days, we also had Dry Top, had a similar mechanic with a bunch of chests on that one too, where during the sandstorms, the chests would appear and they can appear in different random locations. Same thing here. TaCo, look, we're getting the cutscene because we've never even been here. TaCo can show us where all of these different chests are. Fantastic stuff. And as long as there's a community around this stuff, you know, this can be really, really helpful to people. So a lot in Season 3, we've seen you know, when Fireheart Rise came out, this character's never been here. We had the Scrit Sashes, where you can get the strange rocks for a tradable Ascended Ring. You've got the little Massart tokens placed all over the map, really hard to find. In Draconis Mons, we have the new Firestone Shards. The more of a community that are hanging around with TaCo, the better, really, because people will be able to create marker packs for this stuff very, very quickly. So back to the dungeon thing. If you've been wondering about what this is here, this red block up here, this is quite new. So what you can actually do now is you can import your API key into TaCo. So if I click here, API, it says here, enter your Guild Wars 2 API key below and press enter. And if you've never made an API key, lots of different things use these now. You can just go to the Guild Wars 2 website and you can make one here. And what that means is that this overlay will know what progress you've made on your account for different things, okay? And so with this in hand, what you can do is stuff like this overlay here, which is showing all the dungeons in the game, Ascalon Catacombs, Cordicus's Manor, Twilight Arbor, Sorrow's Embrace, and so on and so on and so on. And each block represents a path of that dungeon. So the S means story mode, and then path 1, path 2, path 3, or for Twilight Arbor, for example, you've got up, you've got forward, and you've got Aether Path. And when you do these, it will color them in green. So you know every day which of the rotation you finished. And they have another version for a lot of people who care about raids, obviously more now. You'll see here, you got the Forsaken Thicket, and you can see that this week, my clear, I did a clear of Wingfall down here, which you can see Bastion of the Penitent. We did boss 1, boss 2, boss 3, boss 4, and you can see that we did most of Wing 1 until we started wiping on Sabbatha this week, and then we stopped playing. That's what I did on raids this week. And so if I randomly want to dip in, if I want to go to LFG and decide, okay, what do I want to do? TaCo's telling me what I've already played. Another cool thing about the dungeon one is you guys might remember that after Heart of Thorns came out and they nerfed the dungeon rewards, people complained, so they added more rewards back in. ArenaNet often don't get enough credit for having done this, but there is a very cool achievement here, Dungeon Frequenter. And so, Dungeon Frequenter, right, means that if you complete any 8 paths, you'll get this big chest with a ton of tokens and currency and so forth. And these blocks up here will even show you which of them you've already done for the Dungeon Frequenter achievement too. So just really sophisticated stuff, really cool stuff, and you can choose exactly what you want. Just about one of the coolest overlays that's ever really existed for the game, and they continue updating it, so that's very cool. There's even more interesting things as well. Just to show you guys, obviously there's lots of options. I won't go through every single thing, and some of these I don't know whether I'd honestly use, but they're fun to look at. So for example, toggle range circles. Now this might look like a bit of a mess to you guys, but what this is showing is all the ranges in the game. Very similar to GW1, but so this outermost ring, what that's representing is 1200 range. So for example, this skill down here, I've got Shadow Step. This is a 1200 range blink, and using this overlay, what I know is that I can blink within this big circle out here, but not beyond it, right? So I can go all the way, and that's the line of the circle, as you can see there. And I can go right to the edge. So pretty useful. Meanwhile, Infiltrator's arrow only has 900 range. So I will be able to infiltrate his arrow to the second-most outer ring, but not the outermost ring, as you can see there. See that? You see how it's lining up? And this is pretty useful. It goes even to even closer ranges like this. So if you were a warrior, you would know for a fact that if you popped your greatsword F1, you'd hit everyone on the inside of this sphere here, I think. Or an Earthshaker would be this sphere. Your melee attacks are this one. So if you're fighting a boss where you have to be really like max range, but still able to be in melee range, then you know that it's this circle here, and you can turn these things on and off. There's a cool little compass as well. So let's turn off this one here. Sorry, I'm still not too good. Range circles, let's turn that off. There is an interesting compass that they've got, tactical compass. And so here you can see around your character, you've got north, west, east, and south at any time. If you think about during raiding, the Sabbatha encounter where you got to throw bombs in various directions, you might hear a friend call out on TeamSpeak, oh, throw a bomb to the west. Well, TaCo's got you covered. It will instantly show you. And beyond this, TaCo will actually put extra markers in all the raiding encounters too, even beyond this. So, and I just really like the little animations that they jump with you as you move around. It's really, really, really interesting stuff. So this has been something I wanted to show you guys for ages. Recommend this to your new friends getting into the game, the people who don't have a lot of jumping puzzles, the people who are just getting into raiding. It's a very small little thing. You just put it in a folder. There's no install required. You just double click it. And when I turn off Guild Wars 2 here, you see there's a call option which will also close down TaCo at the same time. This is very seamless, very seamlessly integrated into your PC, and it got a lot faster with one of the recent updates. So it's something I'm really happy to show off with you guys. These interfacing with the APIs make this even cooler. There's a very similar thing that I was messing about with for Gw2 recently, and finally I wanted to show this off. So, especially before we go into all the new expansion stuff, and it might be a long time before I can again. So that's it, guys. That's TaCo. If you've ever heard people recommending TaCo or talking about TaCo, that's what it is. This is the kind of stuff it can do. Many more options I still haven't shown you. But I feel good to have finally got it out there. So let me know what you think. If there's any special advice or extra things that really deserve the mention and I missed in this video, please do say in the comments, because people will go down there, they will check them, and you're helping other people out. And if you've got any tech issues or whatever as well, which I suspect you won't, but if you do, obviously that space is available to you guys as well. Thanks very much for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you very shortly tomorrow. Catch you next time, guys.